Good morning all of you. We are going to begin with the basic topic of the medical science, which is anatomy, and it deals with the structure of the human body. The anatomy is going to be useful for all of you to study further clinical subjects like surgery and orthopedics. Now we are going to study anatomy on the basis of regional anatomy, that is we are going to study anatomy of the upper limb, lower limb, thorax, abdomen, head, neck and brain. So let us start first with upper limb. Now all of us know that upper limb is the part of the appendicular skeleton which is connected to the axial skeleton by means of bones. It is connected anteriorly by the clavicle and posteriorly by the scapula. Now the regions which are formed in the upper limb because of these two bones are the pectoral region, which is there in the front. Posteriorly you will have the scapular region. The upper limb basically, which will be divided into three parts: the arm, the forearm and the hand. Now let us begin first with the pectoral region. Now pectoral region is the region which is there in the front of the arm, and in layman's term it is called as the chest. The pectoral region is made up of three muscles, which are Pectoralis Major, Pectoralis Minor, subclavius, and another big muscle which is actually in the region of the axilla, which is called as the serratus anterior. The Pectoralis Major is the big muscle of the pectoral region, which is originating from the medial 2/3 of the clavicle and also from the sternum. Now this muscle is a triangular muscle which is going to cross the axilla. It is going to take part in the formation of the anterior wall of the axilla, and then it is going to be inserted into the humerus on the lateral lip of the intertubercular sulcus. So Pectoralis Major, this big muscle, you can feel it here, and it is going to be taking part in the formation of the anterior wall of the axilla, inserting into the humerus. Below the Pectoralis Major you have Pectoralis Minor, which is a smaller muscle of the group, and unless you reflect Pectoralis Major you will not be able to see Pectoralis Minor. The importance of the Pectoralis Minor is that it is a small muscle originating from the 3rd, 4th and the 5th ribs from the costochondral junction. It is going to go towards the coracoid process of the scapula. Now a very important thing for all of us to understand is that the coracoid process of the scapula is here. The Pectoralis Minor is going to start from the ribs and it is going to reach the coracoid process of the scapula. Now when the Pectoralis Minor is going to do this, we have to understand that there is a very important structure which is present in the axilla, which is the axillary artery, and the Pectoralis Minor will cross the axillary artery and divide the axillary artery into three parts. The first part of the artery will lie proximal to the muscle, the second part lies deep to the muscle, and the third part will lie distal to the muscle. So that is the importance of Pectoralis Minor, just other than what origin and insertion we should understand. So Pectoralis Minor, let us remember that it is going to cut the axillary artery into three parts. The first part proximal to the artery, second part deep to the artery, and third part distal to the artery. The third muscle which is there of the pectoral region, which is the small muscle which is subclavius, it's a very small muscle which is going to originate from the first rib at the costochondral junction. As all of us know that the first rib is hidden just below the clavicle, and the first rib costochondral junction is just below the clavicle, and from that costochondral junction the subclavius will be inserted just into the subclavian groove of the clavicle. So it's such a small muscle but a very important muscle in that region. The basic function of this muscle is to control the clavicle during rapid movements of the shoulder joint. So a small muscle having a very important function of that region. Now the Pectoralis Major, the Pectoralis Minor and the subclavius, I hope you have understood.